people will say things like, oh, aren't you glad, Yusuke, that you get to, you know, go to school with Emma, like walk there with her? And he's like, what do you mean? I don't like her at all. Hello everyone, it's Luli, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 tsundere characters and their charms. But before I start, if you like visual novels, if you like otome games, and if you just like fangirling over 2D guys, then you've come to the right place because I upload once, sometimes twice a week, and stream regularly. So if that's something you like, then click that subscribe and bell button and you won't regret it. Also, note that although I would not consider any of what I include in this video spoilers, I'm aware that what you consider spoilers and what I consider spoilers may not quite align. So if you're even a little bit sensitive and you don't even want to know what's on the website, then I would swiftly move on. But anyway, let me start. So first up is, what is a tsundere character? So tsundere comes from basically 2 parts of the word, which is tsun and dere. Tsun is like a prickly type of thing, and dere is like melt. So basically it refers to characters that are very prickly, a bit mean, and you're kind of like, oh, who is this character? But then once you get to know him and he starts liking you, he kind of shows his dere side, which is where he goes all like blushy face, he starts panicking, he like starts getting all embarrassed, and oh my god, it's like the cutest thing ever. So that's a tsundere character in a nutshell. Now, 5 examples. The first one is Riku from Olympia Soiree. Olympia Soiree is this game about Olympia, who she basically, one day her clan of the white, basically goddess-like people get wiped out, and she's the only surviving one. Unfortunately, her clan is the only one that can bring sunlight and help the world, so she needs to have a child. I know, what a setting. And so she has to explore this island where there are all sorts of different love interests, and one of which is Riku, who is from the clan of Blue. And there are these colors, there are different classes. It's this very classist society, and it's a bit messed up actually. And on the top is blue, yellow and red. Below that is like the mix of those colors, like purple, green, orange, that sort of thing. And below that is all sorts of mixed up colors. Think of paint basically. Now Riku is blue, so right at the top, and he is like a guardman, and he is very strict in his beliefs that, you know, this classist system, like he is really close-minded about that, and he's a guardman and he cares about Olympia in terms of like having to preserve her. So he becomes very defensive, he's very strict, he's very angry, like he's like, Olympia, why are you here? You shouldn't be here, that sort of thing. But oh my god, it's so funny when you like prod him in the right place. He just freaks, like he goes bright red, he doesn't know what to say, he's like you know, and it's just so cute, it's adorable. Like honestly, it's that kind of flustered face that's the best. But yeah, so that's Riku. Second one is Ryuki from Cupid Parasite. Cupid Parasite is a game about Cupid going down to the human world and matchmaking in the human way to prove to her father that humans can matchmake just as well as gods without having to, you know, use powers and such. And in this story, she ends up having to matchmake what these characters that are known as the Parasite 5. They all have issues which makes them incredibly difficult to matchmake. Ryuki is I can't remember what parasite he was, but basically he's obsessed with like looks, and he only seems to be able to see people who are pretty or like not that bad looking, if you know what I mean. And he's very strict with Cupid in that he's like, oh, you should always have a face mist, and he's like, shh, everyone's face. And he's like, you know, cares about his fashion a lot because he's a fashion designer. And in his case, it's kind of like he's strict because he cares a lot about, you know, his fashion label, and he is trying really hard. And when he does end up liking Cupid, it kind of feels like perhaps he doesn't really understand. Like, eventually he does, but he doesn't know how to express it, and he might do things that are like, you know, almost romantic without realizing it's romantic, and when it's pointed out, he gets flustered, and so it's that gap between being constantly told off about, you know, your fashion sense by him to then him freaking out when you point out that he's doing something romantic. It's quite funny. Third is Red from Taisho Arisu. Oh my god, this has got to be one of my favorite tsundere characters, honestly. So Taisho Arisu is this game where you are Arisu Yurika, the main character, and it essentially is about her traveling into different fairy tale dimensions and having to rescue fairy tale characters. And Red is Red Ridinghood. Oh god, he is. Bless him. Oh god. So he is like a policeman type thing, and in this dimension, Alice basically, what happens is she needs some help from the police, like to be guarded or something or another. I won't go into too much detail, you can play it for yourself type of thing. But Red is like a policeman type figure, and he must protect her. He seems initially more like a tsundere character, so like really cool and collected, and you know, and I must admit I found him a little bit boring at the start, but oh my gosh, as you can tell, I'm speechless because of how silly he is. Basically, you see like Arisu go slightly closer to him and he'll be like, oh, stay back. And you're like, what is wrong with this guy? And then there'll be a scene where she accidentally like brushes across him or like touches him or something. And honestly, he has a massive freak out. He goes bright red. He's like sweating. He's like, don't come near me. And he is a hot mess. Like, I have never seen a character that is so like blushy and freaking out just because a girl like went towards him. Like, especially when you know, Alice gradually gets closer to him and he starts gradually liking her. The hot messness just amplifies. It gets worse and worse and worse. And he like has these, he is a guy after all, I guess, because like Yurika or Alice will say something and he'll be like, oh, what do you mean by that? And is like taking it in the complete wrong way, and you're like, why is your head so in the gutter? But then he like again goes bright red, freaks out, starts sweating. And it's that over and over and over again. And honestly, throughout his route, I was like, oh god, he's my favorite. So I guess in his case, he's the type where he almost feels like a tsundere character and he hides his tsundere side really well, when in actual fact he is a tsunboy because of how flustered he gets, and he's a tiny bit prickly at the start. But yeah, I 100% recommend you need to play him. This game is available on Steam and on Switch, by the way, so play him. Now, fourth is Takeru from Color Malice. I'm not too much of a fan of this character, and I'm really sorry. I know he has a huge fan base, like so many people like him. But yeah, Color Malice is a game in which this main character is working as a policewoman in Shinjuku. Shinjuku in this universe is basically terrorized by this terrorist group and is like quarantined off from the rest of Tokyo. And it's all about this main character who one day gets kidnapped and is placed with a collar around her neck, which is essentially a tool used by the terrorist group to spy on her. And yeah, she needs to figure out a way to get it off because it could kill her any minute. I know, it's kind of crazy. And Takeru is like the computer whiz guy. He's very good with like hacking and scripting and like that sort of thing, like coding and stuff. I mean, so he's like one of those genius intelligent people. But then I think the reason why he annoys me so much is that he is constantly like putting the main character down, as in he keeps on telling her how stupid he is. Oh, why can't you do this? You're so dumb, you're so dumb, you're so dumb. And it's kind of like, I don't need a love interest constantly telling me how dumb I am. It really annoys me. So, although there are, you know, many people who like him, for me, he wasn't a favorite because, yeah, he's just, and also he's quite more cutesy looking. He's quite short and skinny, and like, he looks really cute, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he's really mean. So I guess that's the prickly side. But then I think what's cute about him is that, you know, Ichika, the main character, will go out and buy him some donuts, and he will like suddenly get really happy the way he eats donuts. But like, he doesn't express how happy he is openly. He kind of stubbornly is, because he's like, what? Is there something wrong with men liking sweet donuts? Like, that sort of attitude. But the way he like gobbles up donuts is just so adorable. So I guess you got the prickly side, which is him constantly telling you you're dumb and is being mean in that sense. But then you got the deader side, where he secretly likes things like donuts and sweet things, and like doesn't want to admit that he likes Ichika. And it is cute, just it's not my kind of tsundere, you know? Now, fifth but not least is Yusuke from Brothers Conflict. Brothers Conflict is a ridiculous game whereby the main character, Emma, ends up having to live with, what was it, like 11 other, was it 12? Basically loads of other brothers, like stepbrothers, because her father remarries. So yeah, she ends up with, I can't remember, it was something like 12 brothers in total, all who seem to like her. And Yusuke is a classmate from secondary school, and he clearly likes her. Like, it's actually really cute. Like, he clearly likes her. And in his case, he's very much, it's not that he's like really mean or like anything like that. It's more, people will say things like, oh, aren't you glad, Yusuke, that you get to, you know, go to school with Emma, like walk there with her? And he's like, what do you mean? I don't like her at all. But because he constantly like shows how much he doesn't like her, everyone can tell that he likes her. And he's the one that's so initially opposed of everyone knowing that, you know, they are now brother and sister. I mean, they're not blood relatives, so it doesn't really matter, but I guess he feels embarrassed about it or something, and he doesn't like it because he liked her all this time, and now they're brothers. As I said, not blood relatives. So I personally am like, you know, whatever. But yeah, no, he's the kind of tsun that starts yelling or getting all like a bit embarrassed just because someone's like comments something. So like, there are so many moments, honestly, where he's like, no, it's not like I like her. Honestly, it's really cute. But yeah, so those are the 5 tsunboys that I can think of. And if I were to rate them, I would probably put Red and Yusuke. Like, Red and Yusuke were the ones that made me like the most, oh, how cute, like squeeing throughout the whole game. So I'd say Red and Yusuke are kind of like up here. Then you've got Ryuki, maybe? Oh no, yeah, Ryuki and Riku. Actually no, I'd say Red and Yusuke, then I'd have Riku from Olympia Soiree, because like his blushy face is so beautiful. I just, honestly. Then I'd have Ryuki because I thought the story was fun. And then Takeru because unfortunately he was just a bit much for me. But anyway, so that's that. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Do let me know what tsundere characters you like, or if you have any questions, to comment them below. As is always the case, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos or streams. Bye!